Last lecture we discussed about brain. Now let's talk about reflex arc. And reflex arc clearly seen in NCERT diagram. This is sensory neuron and this is motor neuron, and between interneuron. This response shown by spinal cord. This is diagram of NCERT. Now let's talk about in words form reflex arc. Reflex arc, reflex action, reflex action, and reflex action is unconscious and involuntary response. Involuntary response of effector, muscle or gland. Muscle or gland. Example of reflex are you face in daily life, like a strong light, your eyes closed or closing of eye in strong light. That is reflex action. Unconscious, involuntary. And second is withdrawal of hand. We cultivate with needle. With needle. Clear? Now let's talk about process of reflex arc. Suppose this is spinal cord, because reflex action or reflex arc done by spinal cord. Stimulus, stimulus like pain, touch, light, etc. Sense by sensory receptor. And sensory receptor transfer to afferent neuron, and afferent neuron transfer message or information to spinal cord. Spinal cord. Now, spinal cord relay message to efferent neuron. And what is the means of afferent neuron and efferent neuron? We discuss all in earlier lectures. Efferent neuron transfer message to effector organ. And effector organ or part show response. So response like contraction, secretion, and like removing of hand or withdrawal of hand, etc. Clear? It's a pathway of reflex arc. Clear or not? Now let's talk about reflex or types of reflex, or reflex answered by different parts of brain. Our first reflex is spinal. completed by spinal cord, and reflex action done by spinal cord. That is quick action. Quick action, an example of spinal cord reflex displacement of lead while pinching of needle. Pinching of needle. Second is cranial. Cranial completed by brain because cranial nerves arise from brain. This is slow action. Example like watering of mouth for good food or favorite food. And third is simple reflex. Simple reflex is inborn by birth, present, or inherited. Also known as unlearning response to a stimulus. Example, nest budding. Reflex action, three types: spinal, cranial, and simple. Simple done by or present in born or inherited by unlearned process, and spinal reflex done by spinal cord, and cranial reflex done by brain. Now let's talk about sense organs. When pain, touch, light, stimulus. Sense by sense organs. Sense organ like photoreceptor. This is eye. That is eye. Next is phonoreceptor. That is ear. Next is gustatory receptor. This is tongue. And next is tango receptor. Tango receptor is skin. Olfactory receptor. And olfactory receptor is nose. Eyes light receptor, sound receptor, taste receptor, touch receptor, and smell receptor. Clear? That's all about receptors or reflex action. And here we finished nervous system in animal.